Hello, Serge here from the back porch. We have some comments and questions coming from Injar Cozy, and he says, staying on the recent trend lately about the problem we're having with people talking about power and distance, having feeling that they have enough power and distance in their swing. This question and comment stays on that same train of thought. And he says, I have been using this swing for about 2 months now and find the same as you. My 4H distance, I guess that's 4 hybrid distance, is pretty much the same as my 3 wood and 5 wood. In fact, I went out and purchased a 3H, 3 hybrid, and now leave my woods home as I hit my hybrids better and straighter. Again, why? Because hybrids are shorter and they're made to feel and swing more and act like irons. And so, but with the design to get the ball up in the air better height in the air, you get the ball farther and straighter. And he goes on to say, I really make the green in 3 shots, but I just don't hit the ball very long. Tee off distance is mostly 140, 150 yards. Then I use the 4H or 3H, would go about 130 to 140 for my second shot. Tough to make par when you have to one putt. I have tried to swing harder, faster, but then I get too many miss hits. Also, I find that when I do strike the ball clean with a faster swing, it does not go that much further anyways, maybe 10 or 12 yards. Therefore, I just try to make my easy, meet the ball type swing and go for accuracy. That has helped me lower my score. Thank you. You're making my point. At some point, we have to decide that power is not our game. It has to be hitting the ball solid, straight, accuracy, and control. And that's the key to playing better golf. And that's no better seen than on the PGA Tour when they play really tough courses, especially like a U.S. Open course where the fairways are narrow, the rough is thick, and hitting it off the fairway is extremely penal because in many cases they even have hard time finding balls in the rough off the fairway, on the hole, because the rough off the fairway is so darn long in the U.S. Open. And what's the one thing we hear so many times about the PGA Tour? It's just not making the courses longer that adds the difficulty and can keep the scores lower and the course more challenging and keep the field much more level for long hitters and the more normal hitters to even short hitters. It's keeping the rough high, because if they miss the fairway, they pay the penalty. And that goes for the same thing at all of us that play our regular home courses, which have rough. It might not be, it's not like the U.S. Open, but it's still rough, and it can make it more difficult to hit the ball out of it, especially if it's a little thick and even just a little long. It's still harder to swing through it and control the ball and not have the flyers, not have the rough grab the club and shut it and open it and cause all those other problems. So accuracy becomes important. We want to make sure we keep working on keeping our strength up, keep working out, stay physically fit. But in the end, we have to change our thought pattern. And again, what was said here was he went to a 3 hybrid, which he hits better than his 3 wood and his 5 wood, and just about as far, and almost as far as his driver. Again, as I said earlier, it's the length of the club makes it much more simple to swing because it's designed to play more like an iron and hit the ball. And when you hit it solid and straight and it's got better loft, it's going to go farther. And being shorter, it's easier to swing it vertical. It's lighter than the longer clubs and therefore more controllable, and you should be able to swing it faster. We have to change our thoughts from distance to accuracy. And as I've stated before at least 100 times, stop playing the right tees for your age. You have to accept who you are and what you are. Play the right tees. That makes the course better and more playable for you. And we always hear about the stories about every club has 1 or 2 guys that are really old. They're 78, they're 70s and 80s, some even into their early 90s, and they play steady golf. And everybody says, man, all he does is bop it down the middle, knock it up on the green, and get that 1 or 2 putt and shoot par or better, shoot bogeys and pars consistently, because the guy never gets out of play. Well, we all seem to admire that person. Well, if you admire him so much, why don't you want to be like him or her? And it's keep the ball in play. I mean, all the years I've been just an average driver in all the levels of professional golf I played. But I realized that's me. Unless I could go out and work out and get real strong, and I don't have never have had really the time to do it, but I hit the ball more solid and straight, and I'm able to survive because I play to my strengths. I accept who I am, and I'm just asking all of you to accept that. The one thing that might be alarming in this statement is that, or at least not alarming, I guess it is, because it's telling the truth. When he said he tried to hit the ball, swing harder, he has more miss hits. And why is that? Because in swinging harder, your muscles are tightening up, and then very much if your muscles tighten up, your body starts to get overactive, and your spine's moving, and you might be bending and moving your knees and getting a little more flex and whatever. All those other things, and the tighter muscles slow it down, and that's why your body starts to kick in more. So he realizes that the miss hits are causing him a problem. And so, but he does say that he tries to just make an easy beat the ball type swing and go for accuracy. I love the go for accuracy part, but I got to warn you, if you start getting into just trying to make that easy, kind of smooth, slowing tempo swing, if that smooth swing that has a nice slow tempo is not creating acceleration and impact, you're going to have a problem with power and in terms of club head speed to hit the ball farther, especially with the longer clubs. So we want to stay smooth, we want to stay flowing, but the muscles have to be activated, they have to be engaged, we have to be athletically ready, and we must be accelerating and making that swing. And so, yes, stay smooth, but make sure you're staying active, engaged, and athletically ready, and powering that ball out there, accelerating through impact. Because no matter what shot you're hitting, from a putter to a driver, you must be accelerating through impact to hit the ball farther. So let's start looking at ourselves, folks. Realize who we are, what we are, play the right tees, think accuracy more than distance, but we can get the distance by having the 3 hybrids and the 4 hybrids rather than 3 woods and 4 woods and 5 woods. So I think a while ago I coined a phrase, let's go for hybrid drivers, meaning they're shorter and more controllable. Well, let's start thinking about hybrid 3 and 4 woods and all, instead of just the hybrid, 5 and 7 woods. Let's think hybrid everything, right through anything that's a wood, hybrid wood, including the driver. And think accuracy, and still make those nice firm and accelerating swings through impact, and you'll be hitting it more solid and straighter and longer, and therefore shooting those lower scores. Well, that's it for the search for today, and I'll be talking to y'all again soon.